Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Profit back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about EOS. We talked about EOS in the past, and if you guys do like EOS, make sure to quickly subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and like the video, because EOS is something we talk about, like I said, on this channel quite a lot, because we do see a future in EOS. We only talk about coins that we see futures in, and that includes EOS, obviously, as part of the future. So we see a $6.32 price point right now on EOS. If we go back to our previous video on EOS, it looks like it's about a $4.09 price. So we are seeing great increases since I last told you guys about EOS and told you about the huge potential behind EOS. So $4.09, we are now seeing that $6.32. Obviously a great increase since the last video on EOS. We will continue to make more videos on EOS, giving you guys updates on what's going on around the cryptoverse with this specific coin. So if you guys don't know what EOS is, it's a cryptocurrency designed to support large-scale applications. There are no fees to send or receive EOS. Instead, the protocol rewards the entities that run the network periodically with new EOS, effectively substituting inflation for transaction fees. If you guys don't know much more about EOS, I'm going to say it's starting to get used a lot more. So I ran across this Reddit post on EOS, their Reddit subreddit, I should say. They had pictures say more than words. EOS getting used as currency in Venezuela. So I don't know if this is 100% accurate. Obviously, somebody put a collage of pictures together. It looks, they put the time to do it, so hopefully they're not lying to us, but it looks like EOS is obviously being used in a bunch of different scenarios down in Venezuela, I believe they said. So we continue to see, obviously, a lot more people starting to use EOS and obviously taking advantage of their awesome idea of no inflation, really, with using transaction fees to really withstand that or negate that. So if we jump into our next thing, we want to take an EOS staking rewards model commissioned by Block.1 plus podcast. This is EOSrider.io. We can see more about their talk about how inflation, their rewards configuration, as well as the penalty effect and farther considerations. And then they go into the podcast episode itself between the blocks. I would definitely take a look at this if you guys haven't already. If you hold a lot of EOS, it's definitely a good idea to do your own research like this. And remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I'll never give financial advice, so always do your own research before investing. But let's jump back to that EOS price chart. So we do see a $6.32 price point right now. We will be doing predictions at the end of this video for EOS for May, June, and 2021. So make sure to stick around for that, as we do usually try to give very conservative price predictions so I can be as honest as possible with you guys about where I really do see EOS making it to. And I want to keep being on that conservative, realistic idea of where these price ranges will actually become in the end of May, June, and 2021. So moving forward, let's take a look at the last week. The last week alone, we have a 7.9% increase, even with it dipping down all the way down to $4.62. If you're able to buy at that price point, you're obviously seeing good profits already. A lot of coins did very, very similar things during these market dips. We also saw in the last month, it came from, this $4.07 a March 31st, about 4 a.m., and we saw it increase all the way up to an $8.85 price point. Unfortunately, we have dipped back down, and we kind of stabilized around this $6 range. I'm kind of loving this increase that we've recently seen, though. We are at that $6.32 range now, and hopefully continue to increase gradually over time, as that's more of a stable increase, which means we won't come piling back down at near as badly as obviously of a sharp increase. But we do see a lot of potential in EOS. I've talked about EOS, like I said, on this channel quite a lot, because it's one of those coins that there is a large future for it. And if we take a look, like I said, at this last year alone, it's been doing things for over a year. A lot of these coins don't start doing anything until February or March of this year. But this coin was one that started in May last year and continued to grow through this in the last couple of years. Really, it had a price point of about $2 through most of last year, and now we're seeing that $6.32. I think we will continue to see some growth, as it looks like we do have some kind of trend really starting for an uptrend. If we take a look at the last week, we have 7.9% increase, 24 hours a 9.41% increase, and the last month a 47.58% increase. So hopefully you guys, if you're looking to jump in, it's not a bad price point right now. I do think we'll dip down a little bit before we continue on this climb, so you could probably wait and find a good spot to jump in if you want to jump in on EOS. I think it's definitely a coin worth looking into, but let's take a look at the actual website itself and really see what EOS is all about. So EOSIO, it's fast, flexible, and forward-driven. They talk about their hackathon event they just had. So they did have some winners there. Over 1,300 participants from 107 countries competed to build the next wave of innovation through the combined power of blockchain and Google Cloud. That is pretty crazy. We also see why would you invest or why buy or why use EOSIO? And it talks about fast, scalable, highly configurable, developer friendly, and security and compliance focused. They talk more about the developers. They have the developer portal and elemental battles. So build your first blockchain based game on elemental battles, and interactive fantasy world platform to help you learn the basics. So they have great training programs really for the developers, as well as just they talk about how much they really believe in themselves. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for people to jump in and take advantage of this awesome platform and system altogether. So I do think it's a great spot to really look into more of EOS as a whole. Jump into EOS.io. I will say, guys, if you want to talk more about EOS or any other cryptocurrencies, you can jump into the description of this video. There is a link to my Discord as well as my Twitter account. I try to tweet and retweet the most recent up-to-date information so you guys can get that information as quickly as possible. And then you can also talk with crypto like-minded people like myself and yourself in that Discord linked in the description below. So jump into both of those. But without further ado, let's jump back to that price chart and let's jump straight into the EOS price predictions for May, June, and 2021. So like I said, very conservative price predictions is usually what I try to go for because there is so much uncertainty out there with what's coming. We don't know exactly when the next market, dip is going to take place, when we might run into a bull market. And because of that, for the most part, I will be doing conservative price predictions. So jumping into the realistic price prediction, we're going to talk about May. I think by the end of May, I think we will be pushing right around a $6.70 to $7 mark for EOS. I think that'd be a great increase to see. A $6.70 to $7 is definitely a realistic prediction. EOS has what it takes to go much farther than that. We do see a $6 billion market cap. I could easily see EOS continuing on to maybe a $12 billion market cap by the end of June, really pushing close to that $12, 60-cent mark. I think that's definitely a possibility, but I'm not going to shoot that high. I'm going to say, guys, these are realistic predictions. So because of that, by the end of June, I'm going to say right around a $8 to $10 mark is possible. It's going to depend on a lot of different things. I'm hoping that EOS continues to push these projects and utility really starts to get used by a lot more investors. And I think that will come with time. And because of that, $8 is really my go-to price point for EOS by the end of June at the very, very least. I think $8 to $10 is a possibility. Going to the end of 2021, I do think we will continue to see increases for the most part, stabilizing out and obviously having some dips along the way, keeping our price chart as healthy as possible, hopefully. But I do think EOS is going to do fine when every other coin is doing bad. And I also think it's going to do, it's going to have some hard dips when other coins are doing good. So it always kind of strays away from the regular path of altcoins. And because of that, I think EOS is going to do fairly well in 2021, making its way closer and closer to about a $12 to $16 price point. It's not a huge gains. I do think it's going to be about a 2x over the next year. But if we look, we've had EOS for quite some time. I've done some research on the price chart altogether, and we did make its way all the way up to that $8.85 price point. So if you bought at that top of the line price, you are unfortunately not going to see as much gains as you would if you bought down at this $3.93 price in March. I will say there are going to be potential for much more and higher gains. Like I said, it's going to depend a lot on some of these updates and projects that come out, and that's why we're going to keep you guys updated, as these prices could definitely change depending on what all comes out and really what's going on in the market at the time. More and more investors are coming in every day, so EOS could even do much more than just 3 to 4x potentially for the year alone. But these are my price predictions for the current market and the current amount of investors going, investing into these kind of coins. So that's where I see it right now. Hopefully this changes. Hopefully we continue to see EOS climb. Hopefully we continue to see some price increases on EOS. But let me know in the comments if you guys think my price predictions are a little low, a little high, and why you think EOS is going to be the next big thing, or why it's, not a very good coin to invest in at this moment. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys all in the next one.